अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। In the last session of our lecture, we have discussed about in previous lectures about sound. We have discussed about 4 kinds of transmission of sound, that is para, pashyanti, madhyama and vaikhari, and omkara, how omkara is Brahman itself, how Upanishads have uh, described Omkara, and how other people have taken the advantage of, that is the advantage of human race, advantage of Omkara to human race has been depicted, and its vibration on body and mind. The researches conducted globally all were meant in last 2 sessions. So let us continue the journey of sound, and today let us know some more aspects about uh, sound in this session, because sound is an energy, it is fantastic, and it is a vast ocean, and we are taking only a drop by drop in each session. I think that's all. So in this, let us take the reflection of sound. As light reflects, sound also reflects. So what is the name given to the reflection of sound? It is called as pratidhvani. So we have many places where this pratidhvani or echo is heard. One of the most famous places is Golgumbas in Vijaypura. There is a whispering hall, and there, if you say anything, it echoes for 7 times. So let us listen to this first now. So if you make any sound once, see, it will be echoed for 7 times there. And let us take another. These are the sounds of echo in Gol Gumbas in Vijayapura, Karnataka. How these sounds can be heard? They are considered to be the reflection of sound. As we see our reflection in mirror, water, or any polished surface, we call it as pratibimba. In the same way, the reflection of sound is called as pratidhvani or an echo. Our ancestors used the word buddhi parinama visheshaha. As the image in water is not a real image, in the same way, echo is not a real sound. See, these are some of the aspects of sound we have to know, because in next we are going to musical notes. There, these will become very important. So this word pitch is primarily determined by the fundamental frequency of a note. Perceived loudness is related to the intensity or energy per time per area at the ear. Timbre is the quality of musical note and is related to other frequencies present there. Frequency is perceived by human as pitch. The sound intensity is the amplitude. Humans can only hear a specific range of sound, as we said in the beginning itself, usually from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. The factors that go into a sound are its intensity, frequency, and overtones. So, this is the pictographic representation of pitch, intensity, and the frequency. So this is frequency heard, this is the pitch of the musical note, this is the loudness in phone, or this is the intensity of sound, this is waveform, and other frequencies. So the difference between pitch and intensity is that intensity is the amount of energy of a sound has over an area. Pitch, which depends upon the frequency, help us distinguish between low and high sounds. Pitch timbre. See, this timbre, this word can be heard by musicians. See, if you are listening to this Shankara Super Singer Season 4 or Bhajan Samrat in Shankara TV daily, you can listen to these words, that is pitch, timbre, swaras, manodharma, and all these things. So, what is pitch timbre? Allows us to hear intonation in a language and notes in a melody. See, intonation in a language is very important, and the all the feelings are expressed through intonation. So, a pitch allows us to hear intonation in a language. See, when we are in anger, we raise our voice, we raise our pitch. And when we are in sad, we are we will be uh, our pitch will not that high, and the sound also will be notably low. So this is the pitch allows to hear in intonation in a language and notes in a melody or raga or whatever it may be. Timbre allows us to distinguish the vowels and consonants that make up words, as well as the unique sound qualities of different musical instruments. So, combination of pitch and timbre enable us to identify a speaker voice or a speaker's voice or a piece of music. So, the what we all are hearing, or what you are all listening to my speech, is it is because of the timbre enables us to identify a speaker's voice. That is, timbre is the quality of sound is termed as timbre in is the technical term given to it. Examples of that are the ways used to describe the sound. So words such as light, flat, smooth, smoky, breathy, rough, and so on. So if you listen to the musicians, you may hear to these words, that is light, and somewhere the notes become flat and the voice is rough and your voice is breathy and deep and so on. So we what used to distinguish one sound from another, the quality of sound is timbre. How we recognize the different sounds or voices you hear is attributed to the quality of voice, that is timbre. The elements of timbre are the tone quality of the music, the different sound made by instruments used, tonality, the key of a piece of music, example major, happy, minor, sad, and atonal. So you can listen to this natural sound, and this is nature therapy. And we can come to speech therapy also. So if anybody is sleepless in the night, is very anxious, then if you can listen to this natural music, then one will lose all his tensions and he sleeps peacefully and happily. So let us come to sound therapy. Sound has a therapeutic value also. So before going to this field, I want to share uh, my personal experiences with three incidents. 40 years ago, I was taking home tuitions. A fifth standard girl was coming to me to take tuitions from me. She was about 12 years. Fifth standard means might be 11 to 12 years of age, and 7 years of schooling. And she was not able to pronounce sa. Instead of sa, she used to pronounce ha. And I do not know how it went unnoticed for uh, even at the home and also at the school. I do not know. It went unnoticed, and all her friends were making fun of her. So for it was very harsh to hear hi in hi. She used to say Hoshel Hadis. She used to say, and I was worried about it. And when I was attending to Sanskrit college at that time, so I put this problem before my guru, Vidwan late Sheshachal Sharma. He said that he told me a remedy for that. He told me to pronounce sa in front of her daily, at least 4 to 5 words, And whether she pronounces sa or not, it is not, you don't bother about it, not to be bothered. But she also should repeat the same words what you say. So I started this experiment on her, and in the beginning, 4 to 5 days, she was pronouncing ha itself. But on after a few days, she said astu. So I was very much happy. She was happy, and all her friends were happy, and they were asking her, Leka, Rekha, tell science, tell social studies, tell Saru, and whatever the pronunciations could be done, it was done by her. And this is one incident that the second one is an officer who was working for government of a secretarial cadre was near my aunt's house. So secretarial cadre means he was an IAS officer. We know that tension and anxiety of them. So he was always in tension, always in anxiety, and due to that, he had high BP. So one day, due to the pressure of work in the office, he collapsed, and he was given medicine, and doctor advised him to take rest for 15 days, bed rest for 15 days. And he was not knowing what to do, because all these days he was on his toes, and he had full time now. So for time pass, he had the uh, Vishnu Sahasranamam Stotra of Dr. M.S. Subbalakshmi. In the beginning, he started to listen. He used to listen, and in course of time, he started to chant along with that. You believe it or not, in 15 days, his BP came to normalcy, and in his life, he never had BP, and until his last breath, he continued to chant Vishnu Sahasranamam. This is the second. The third incident I want to share with you is that we had a family friend we had a family friend. She had 4 daughters. One of them was not normal. She could not pass 10th standard, and all her other 3 siblings went up in their studies. But this girl was somewhat abnormal, and she was very much slow in doing things. And the parents were worried about her naturally, because she was a girl child, and they were worried. And she was taken to Nimhans, and all the tests were done. And one of the doctors, a neurotherapist, suggested the parents to make her learn classical music. So she was made to learn classical music. By learning classical music for 2 years, she became normal, and her her ways and all her day by day, they I could see the we could see, or the society could see, the people around close to her could see the improvisation in her. So in 2 years of learning classical music, she completely became normal. It is, uh, even though she did not pass her 10th standard, but she had passed the examination of life. So she was married, and she is leading a normal life, and she is having two kids now. I think by that time they might also might been have married. So this is the effect of sound. This is the effect of vibration that we get in our mind, or the effect of soundation on body and mind. So what is sound therapy refers to the range of therapies in which sound is used to treat physical and mental conditions. Indigenous societies around the world have traditionally used sound in healing ceremonies, including drumming, hand clapping, singing, dancing, and pulsating since the beginning of time. See, nowadays, for people are health conscious, so for their improvement of health, laughing clubs are started in each and every locality. So they laugh loudly. So laughing aloud is also a part of therapy, they say. And also the clapping. Even it is said that if you clap, the people who are diabetic, if they clap daily, hand clapping, then the uh, sugar level comes down. So, these are all some of the therapeutic methods of sound. So, sound therapy is said to help not only physical illness but also help balance the emotions and quieten a busy mind. Most people, I told you, know about the IAS officer who became normal after chanting the Vishnu Sahasranamam. Most of the people feel calm and relaxed following treatment. For some, this feeling will last several days. You may also be given exercises to practice between treatments. So, this is sound therapy, and this is how the vibration of sound help us in healing the physical as well as mental ailments. Sound healing therapy uses aspects of music to improve physical and emotional health and well being. The person being treated partakes in the experience with a trained practitioner. Music therapy may involve listening to music. Everything is a vibration, and we tune our body like we tune an instrument. Different instruments are set to certain frequencies. Sound healing allows our body to heal itself by slowing down our brain waves, which affect every cell in our body, shifting them from disease to being in ease. So, this is the result of vibratory motion on our body. Sound healing is the use of sacred instruments or voice to release energetic blockages, including a state of ease and harmony in the body. While there are many types of sound therapy, all of them produce vibrations that alter our brain waves. So, these are uh, called as seven healing frequencies. That is 174 hertz frequency sound relieves pain and stress. 285 heals tissues and organs. 396 hertz frequency sound or vibration liberates you from fear and guilt. 417 hertz facilitates change. 528 hertz for transformation and DNA repair. 639 hertz reconnects you with your relationships. 741 hertz helps to provide solutions and self expressions. See, these are all the effect of vibrations of different frequencies in our body. It is amazing to know that these are all proved experimentally. The sound vibrations cause the plate to vibrate at the same frequency, which causes movement of the sand particles to form patterns of the sound generated. Sound vibrations can come in contact physically through the body and have an effect on our consciousness at the mental, emotional, and spiritual level. For example, enlightenment has the highest frequency. Enlightenment has the highest frequency of 700 plus and the greatest expansion of energy. The vibrational frequency of joy is 540 and is expansive. So the vibrational frequency of anger is 150 and falls to contraction. So if the frequency is more, then the ease of mind and body is more. So if the frequency is less, then we will have the other negative aspects such as anger and other its friends. That is why even the thinking of such will affect on us, maybe negative or positive effect. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Upajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodho Bhijayate Krodhat Bhavati Sammohaha Sammohat Smriti Vibhramaha Smriti Bhramshat Buddhinasho Buddhinashat Pranashyati. Vishaya is the worldly pleasures. If anyone thinks of it in mind, see, we have talked about the soundless, speechless sound in previous sessions. So, if we think of that, our mind wants to have it. So, this is also, this thinking, it also creates some waves, some electromagnetic waves around us. And it causes and it motivates the man to have it. This is another energy. So sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha. So it leads from one to another, and then it goes on contraction, falling to contraction, and at the end the destruction of man is done by the destruction of the intellect, says Lord Krishna. So, that is why in Indian thinking, they say that we should always think of good. We should that too, especially for pregnant women. They are advised to think good, see good, read good, yad bhavam tad bhavati. So what we feel, we will become like that. So these are all, see, these are all the different frequencies of sound. See, we will get the radio or TV station for the switched frequency what we want. In the same way, what we are today, what energy we are having today is the result of the frequencies of emotion inside us and also the external frequencies. So, for enlightening us, we have to have highest frequencies and the greatest expansion of energy. So vibrational frequency of joy is 540 and is expansive. So we have to think of going higher and higher and not lower and lower. So, what are the benefits of sound healing? Can help our clear energetic blockages and thus facilitate healing on a physical and mental level. See, there will be some emotional blockages. All the people are not extroverts. Some are introverts and they will not share their feeling with others. They will keep it inside them, and this is the reason for split personality in them. And sometimes they behave like another person, and sometimes they behave normal, and sometimes they behave abnormal. This is due to the energetic blockages or emotional blockages in them. So, sound healing can help to clear those energetic blockages and facilitate healing on a physical and also a mental level. So, I was mentioning in the beginning that yoga uh, believes in the therapy of uh, Manomaya Kosha. So, most of our diseases are from our mental level. See, for example, that too, in this a pandemic environment, see, if we have some cough, our mind say that, oh, I might get positive to COVID. So if I sneeze for 2 to 3 times, our mind thinks of COVID-19. And if we are if we have a running temperature, means a man is in a depressed level. Whether he is having COVID or not, whether he is having any disease or not, but the mental feeling uh, makes him down, and it leads him to the path of depression. So, the sound healing will clear all energetic blockages and facilitate healing on a physical and mental level. So, some of the benefits of sound therapy include lower stress levels, fewer mood swings, lower blood pressure, lower cholesterol, improved sleep. So, I made you hear the sound of natural sound of forest to a sound sleep. So, let us come to music now. So, this is another vast area or a vast ocean. A lot of place to play in it. So, from next session, we take the journey of sound in music. So, thank you all for patience hearing. Namaskar.